welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new readings every single day. And if you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. We have Temperance. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Ten of Swords. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. What I'm seeing here with the Temperance card is that there is a lot of healing that is happening, but there's also sort of this need to have patience for the ongoing situations in your life. I'm seeing that there are a lot of new beginnings and a lot of endings that are happening between the Eight of Cups and the Ten of Swords. Also, that's being represented here between the Moon and the Sun, the sort of ending and beginning of new cycles that's happening here. The balance between light and dark, between the conscious and the subconscious, the masculine and the feminine. This energy here and this cycle that you're in the midst of is having you walk away and release certain things that you've been holding on to for far too long with the Ten of Swords. And it's also teaching you new things about yourself, and there's sort of this new awareness that's coming to fruition here. I'm seeing that this is the last big release that's going to happen before this new era that you are in the midst of, and this new beginning really comes to full fruition here. You're really being prompted with the High Priestess to remain connected with your higher self, connected to your intuition, and connected to your guides. But what's interesting here is I not only am seeing this cycle of release that's happening, but we have two sixes on the table, and six has to do with refocusing your priorities. You are being prompted to use your intuition more in this new cycle. This is going to be a much more spiritual cycle, regardless of what it is that you're trying to achieve. For some of you, this has to do with family or friends and your community. For others of you, this has more of a focus on actual material gain and financial and career. For even more of you, it's both. But ultimately, whatever your main focus and what you're trying to accomplish in this next cycle is really going to be accomplished through the spiritual. There's going to be a high spiritual focus here that is going to lead you to success. And what's interesting here is we're not only seeing cycles of endings, but we're seeing cycles of new beginnings, which is really being depicted here between giving and taking in this card with the Six of Pentacles, and between youth and maturity, between being young and being seasoned. You are being prompted to pay attention to patterns in your life. A lot of you have gotten good at recognizing the negative patterns. That's what's helping you in this big release. And you've been in the process of releasing negative things for a while. So in this particular big release, this is kind of like the final push in this particular cycle. But what you're being prompted to do is pay attention to the reoccurring positive cycles in your life. This is going to be key here. Some of you are going to start recognizing certain patterns of success in your life that you need to put a focus on that will help you in this next cycle not only achieve what it is that you're looking to achieve, but it'll make your manifestations a lot easier. An example of that would be, let's say you come to find that when you have reflected on the past moments in your career where you have been very successful, maybe you're starting to recognize that you had more success when you genuinely liked the people that you were surrounded with, regardless of what they could potentially give to a certain project or to a certain accomplishment. Maybe you're starting to realize that you have a tendency to already be magnetized towards a certain type of successful person. And maybe your idea of what a successful person is versus the people who have helped you in your life has been different. Whatever the patterns are, but you are being prompted to pay attention to the positive patterns just as much as you've been paying attention to the negative ones, because it's going to help you build upon the spiritual energy behind those positive patterns and help you repeat them. The other thing I'm seeing here is that you're going to start recognizing that your intuition is naturally leading you to these positive patterns, but maybe you didn't recognize it as easily in the past as you are now. And maybe this is some power that you have not recognized that you were carrying with you this whole time. This is important because I'm really seeing that you've been divinely guided this whole time. All the things that you thought did or didn't work out, there were pieces and moments to those different pieces of the cycles that are repetitive. Pay attention to these repeat patterns and follow the positive patterns and the little breadcrumbs. As you see here with these cups, we have little cups leading from the little kid and the baby puppy to the gentleman and the older dog. It's the same sort of thing. You want to start looking for the cups that you've left yourself, the coins that you've left yourself, the pieces of success, the little pieces of wisdom, the intuition that you had, that you paid attention to, that led you to something great. There's a lot of patterns here with repeating things leading somewhere, like lines of repeating things in these cards. We have footprints leading away from the water. We have the cups here. We have the birds in the sky. We have the pentacles here. Even in the High Priestess, we have dots going up from her head. And even here in Temperance, we have the sun and the moon that are drawing a line. There's a lot of lines here that I'm seeing of things leading. It's almost like stepping stones from one thing to the next. Some of you need to meditate and really think back, because I'm hearing that if you ask your guides to help you remember certain situations, these patterns are going to become more clear. And the reason why you're being prompted to pay attention to these patterns is not only to repeat them and recognize the power that you have, but also recognize how your guides in the universe have been supporting you and how they communicate with you to lead you to these positive patterns, to lead you to that right person or that right thing or that idea or whatever it was. There's little pieces in there that are showing you how your manifestations work for you. This is why the spiritual part is so important, because what I'm seeing is that this era is going to have such an emphasis on the spiritual, because the spiritual part, not the material logical part, is what's going to lead you to this next major success in this cycle. So I'm going to leave the reading here. If it resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and comment your affirmation down below. Your affirmation for this reading is, I am recognizing and following the positive patterns in my life. And as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. I'll see you next time.